Welcome back to the Gadget Spot.
The greatest podcast for all your gadget needs.
Yeah, and the place to listen to stuff.
Well, we're pretty good.
It's good, not great.
Yeah.
What?
You know,
It's great, not good.
There's much better podcasts out there.
But guess what? You're here. We're kind of like a sand trap, like when you're playing golf.
Yeah.
You know, it just kind of ends up here. And,
When you get here, you can't help but stay.
You know that girlfriend you just don't want to dump because, you're lazy? That's what we are.
Yeah, but that's not a really good reference because you only had one before you got married.
No, that's not true. I had 3.5. Three quarters.
Three and a half. Please explain the half. Like, what was up with that one?
It was...
They were only dating in his head.
Oh, for real?
No.
Okay. I'm glad you took inside his head instead of like some mental aspect or some physical aspect. It's like, it's only half a girl.
By all appearances, we were dating, but not in my head.
Crocodile Dundee
That's how-
style.
By all appearances, you were dating?
Yeah.
Like, she would wear dresses and you would wear khakis? Like, what do you mean?
I hate khakis. Don't ever bring up khakis.
I love
ever again.
khakis when my coworkers are wearing them because I can tell when they're coming.
Those are corduroys, not
That's
khakis.
corduroys.
I said what I said.
Get your
Said it
pant
wrong.
technology correct.
Okay, let's introduce the table. Owen.
Hey, I have a starburst in my mouth. My name's Owen. And you can follow me on Twitter at TechNoan.
Sad, sad life.
And,
I don't think you have a sad life. I think you're an interesting person.
hey, thanks.
Wrap up your intro.
Why would
Okay,
you
sorry.
say that, Jarron?
That was his intro. I have a starburst in my mouth, and I'm Owen.
Sorry.
Sounded good to me.
I mean, James is really hungry, so we really have to keep on track right now. So, anyway, you can...
Here, just
You can...
My
you can,
GoPro keeps on tipping.
You can...
give me your GoPro. I'll give
get
you
the,
mine.
uh,
No,
gamer
I'll just
tag.
hold it with my hand.
Mordieth84, there you go.
Oh my gosh, you guys are the worst.
There's a train wreck.
One person at a time. Owen, let's hear your...
I already did it.
Let's hear your Twitter and your Xbox Live.
Twitter at TechNoan and Xbox Live is Mordieth84.
Okay, perfect.
There you go.
All right. On to the next person, Jarron.
I'm Jarron. Apparently, I'm this character from this
Go watch the
program.
regular show. What episode was that? Because that's the perfect episode.
It was episode 3 of season 1 called Death Punchies.
Yes.
If you were to watch that episode, just imagine Jarron as Rigby and myself as Mordecai. If we were
Tony
single,
has some
if we were single
delusion.
and lived together, this is what we would be like.
Punchies, man.
Just because you're big and I'm small like a raccoon and I look like a raccoon and I act like a raccoon.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, I get it.
And I'm like a giant blue jay, just thicker.
Yeah.
And your beard kind of looks like a beak.
I'm like
Yeah.
a rabbit.
All right.
Anyway.
Let's hear
is this my
your
intro right here?
Rigby.
I'm Jarron.
Oh.
Twitter is at Jarron. You can find me on PlayStation Network at Geronimo or what's the other one? Xbox. Xbox Live at Vinegary Jarron. Yep. And I'm done now.
Oh my gosh, I spilled so many beans.
Who let him touch the candy?
He's wearing Jelly Bellies right
and
now.
these beans that were in his crotch, he put back in the bag.
Crotch beans.
Gosh dang it.
Yeah, guess what? You're getting salty flavor now.
Oh.
Sick. All right, anywho, my name's James. What's up? You can find me at... Did you just put that in my energy drink?
It was in
You
your
did.
crotch.
That is the only thing I've had to look forward to today. I had barely even seen my wife.
It was an
there.
orange Jelly Belly, so I'm sure it'll
It's
compliment.
gonna
It's probably not cantaloupe.
You better watch
probably.
It's going to taste fine.
your butt. So anyway,
What are you suggesting?
I'm going to stick a Jelly Belly up.
This has gotten bad.
Anywho, you can find me on Twitter at JDD Jensen. You can add me on Xbox One at Funeral Taters, and I later on I'll circle back around to that because I got a couple of stories about Xbox One. But you can find us on YouTube and stuff today because we got a bunch of GoPros. But guess what? There's only one way that you can find us on YouTube, and I'll tell you that after we get done introducing our host.
Hey, I'm Tony. Find me on Twitter at QuadTTony or on the Geek Show podcast, producing and being a panelist on there. Or
You look like a strawberry.
I feel pretty strawberry-y today.
Green shirt, red everything else. Yeah.
So I'm
strawberry.
the opposite of a strawberry.
Yep, you're an inverse strawberry.
Okay. A greenberry.
I just ate a peach Jelly Belly.
What's the one in your drink taste like?
Elefino, man.
Anyway, what was I saying? Oh, yeah.
You're on
Xbox
Geek Show?
Live tag, Fat Space, Tony117, all uppercase. And that's about it. I have a Steam account, too, that I'm on all the time playing single-player games, but I forget what my name is on there.
So useless information.
Yep, I'll figure that out for the next episode, maybe. That's it. This is us, the four of us. I hope you like it. Or something.
Yay!
Okay, what are we going to kick it off with? We had 2 weeks of a lot. Not that much news actually.
Yeah, it was a slow news week.
But we got some good stuff to talk about.
But before we get to the good news, we should
that's right.
probably talk
We
about
always
the
start with-
people that make the show possible.
We always start with emails, and this week we have a special segment: Patreon donations.
Is that when we're doing it? We're going to do Patreon after the emails? Do you want to do it like that?
We can do Patreon first.
Okay. Well, I was just thinking.
Yeah.
Let's thank our 2 executive producers of this show.
No, we decided we weren't going to go with that.
Oh, what are we calling them?
We're calling them.
yeah, if they're executive producers, they could call the shots, right?
Yeah,
They
we
could,
don't-
like, cancel the podcast.
We don't want that.
No more. We're paying you to stop.
These are our these are our Patreon
Top tier subscribers.
top tier subscribers, and they are sugar daddies.
Oh,
Do we-
dude, I think I
Yeah.
just got a sugar daddy jelly belly. That's a coincidence.
Do we have to say that we
It's
love them
coffee.
on air?
It's just caramel, only if they want us to.
Okay.
So, anywho,
We got 2 sugar daddies,
thank you so much, Ramon Valentine and Adam Hecht.
and those titles might change. They're up to my discretion.
Yeah,
Nice.
but if you want to find out more about being a Patreon for the show, help keep the lights on when we do our stuff, maybe buy us a pizza,
A Patreon patron.
a Patreon patron. Help, buy us a pizza, buy me an energy drink that Tony can put another thing down. Mainly, we're going to be using the money to do marketing and stuff, so more people will love
Basically,
the show, so we can do live performances.
We're going to
and stuff.
keep the lights on, pay for the hosting, such
Yeah,
stuff
stuff
like
like
that.
that.
So Valentine and Adam, thank you very much. You guys are awesome.
Awesome.
Indeed.
And in the future, if you guys want to become a patron, go to patreon.com/Gadget Spot. And as little as $2, you can get extra content. And the extra content this week is a YouTube link of us recording the show. And
It'll
that'll
be
go up
a
as soon as
private
I can.
video.
Yeah, private video.
So not
Yeah.
everyone can see it. Only
Right.
only if you donate on the Patreon. And as always, if you don't want to donate, that's not a problem. But
We'll keep doing it as long as we have money.
Yep.
That's the stipulation. No, donate if you want to. Never feel pressured to, though. We're going to keep going. And the audio will always be, the podcast itself will always be free.
Yeah.
And the special one-time things happen once a month, so that'll be the one for this month. However, in the future, just a heads up, I am most likely going to get tased for our Patreons. Just throwing that out there. I'm going to have it on video and on audio, so you guys don't think I'm...
I thought we were going to build up to that.
Well, I'm just saying in the future sometime that is going to be one of the things that
If we
do.
reach $555, yeah, we'll tase you.
Oh, that's a good goal.
That is a good goal. I'll be tased. And honestly, anywhere but the feel goods areas. I'll let our
We're going right for the crotch.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
I'll let our listeners decide. Anywho, let's get on with
Free
it.
birth control.
Oh yeah, boy.
But we got some emails.
I like emails.
Yeah, we got a few actually.
Checking the email.
So Patrick sent one, but he sent it like right after we recorded the last show, so we weren't able to read it.
Yeah, sorry for the lag there.
Yeah.
And Patrick's awesome.
Yep, he says, hello again. Over the past few months, I've become a weekly listener and a Gadget Spotter, i.e. Gadget Spot fan. I hope you guys are doing well and love the longer episodes. We like them too.
Wait, Gadget Spotter. We got to come up with a cooler name than that.
G-Spotter.
Cool. And done.
I don't know if that plays well in all
Keep it rolling.
markets.
Oh, it plays.
It plays very well.
It crowdsourced very well in Asia. Go ahead.
I am planning to fly out there in April for a convention. If it's still on, and drop by to say hi. Sorry, I can't read. And make some cool videos with Geek Show or something. Since my last email, a lot of things have happened, so I thought it would only be fitting if I asked a similar question from last time. What did you guys think of the recent Microsoft and Apple hardware events? And which devices do you think would most accommodate your needs, dreams, in terms of a work play? Can't wait to hear what you guys have to say. And in case you guys didn't hear, I noticed a few things that you may not have known about yet. I would say these stories flew under the radar. You can use that if you want. We'll post them in the show notes for sure.
Yeah.
The stories he sent us.
Yeah.
What do you think? What do you think, Tony? I want to know what you thought about the events themselves. Not what they did, but how they went off.
Keynotes.
I was waiting for a raspberry.
We went over this.
Yeah, we
I
did.
did not.
Yeah, I think we made ourselves pretty clear.
I thought Tony was going to give the old.
I'm trying to contain my fart noises.
Oh yeah,
But that one deserves
That
one for
was
sure.
kind of-
Those keynotes were very...
oh, yeah, there it is. There it is. Classic.
They were boring, and then especially for the Apple keynote, I don't think the products were terribly great. I don't think they lived up to expectations.
Can
No.
we put it into perspective though? When was the last time that you guys saw a keynote that really gripped your interest the entire time, or held your interest the entire time?
Probably. Actually, you know what? Microsoft had a really good keynote at E3 this year.
Oh, this year?
Yeah.
I like
So it's not all
I was going to
downhill.
say E3 had the best overall.
And that's the
like-
thing.
The Sony PS4 keynote.
That was also a very
That was
good
a great
keynote.
one. Yeah.
The video game companies, when they're focusing on just their video game stuff, they know that
Right.
we as gamers have a very short attention span.
Yep.
And so they can't ramble on about, how great this touch key,
how it's going to change
touch
lives,
bar is for shortcuts on Adobe Premiere
or how
whatever.
Surface Studio is going to change the way people compute.
Yeah, so usually still to this day, I'd say gaming keynotes are pretty good. Pretty good.
Do you feel like it's because their timing is a little bit more limited versus like Apple? They feel the
think
need
that's-
to stretch it out over 2
I'm
hours.
sure that's a
versus
factor
E3,
as
it's
well.
like, we got to get it in what is it, 30 minutes?
No,
30 minutes
they
or
went
less?
an hour. Some of them went
And
an
they're
hour.
and they're hitting they're going after different demographics a little bit. Like
Yeah.
they got to go after like art people and designers with these
Well,
other these other bigger systems and
Exactly.
more general.
Not to mention the good keynotes were the platforms. Xbox,
What makes a good keynote?
Sony's PlayStation keynote. Now, if you watched like the Ubisoft keynote, that was a snore fest.
I think
Yeah.
as little fluff as possible makes a good
So
keynote.
all
keynote.
just meat?
Yeah, definitely.
Specs.
Even if it's just 10 minutes, that's
Yep.
completely fine.
I like specs and gameplay, actual live play, like what it's going to look like.
Yeah.
Not,
Show the unit,
Yep.
show the specs, demo the unit,
Yep.
move on to the next thing.
Which I feel like that's relevant for a lot of performance art pieces. Anywho.
I know where you're getting at.
All right.
Got another email from Jeremy. He says, I knew the G-Spot was real. Greetings and salutations, Gadget Men. First, I have spent the last couple of weeks catching up on the backlog, and I'm loving it. Thank you. I like that you each bring different passions to the table, and even though you each might be bored with whatever they might be rambling about, I'm enjoying it and learning. Even Tony's processor rants are interesting, even if they are a little confusing for me. Yeah, I'm going to have to agree with you on that.
You're not alone with that one, buddy. Trust me.
So on to my questions. I'm not a tech noob, but I'm definitely not up to your guys' caliber, so I have what might seem like some basic questions. What music, program, service, application do you use on your mobile devices? One of my big hang-ups of finally ditching the iPhone is the ability to move all my music onto a device between the various media formats, MP3, MP4, blah, 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 a bunch of formats, and so on. It seems like iTunes runs most, if not all, the audio and video formats with ease. I'll talk about that. Wherever I try to use audio, video, Android application, half the time the format is not right. Suggestions? To this effect, I have a small backlog of music that has DRM on it from back in the day when iTunes
Yuck.
had DRM on everything. This has prevented me from playing this music on anything other than iTunes. Is there a way to get rid of this? Thanks, guys. Geek Show says, hey, Jeremy from Michigan.
Geek Show listener as well. Hey, Jeremy.
Hey.
Okay.
Hey,
So
Let me tackle one thing real quick.
I wanted to talk about the iTunes.
The DRM problem.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So I had this issue when iTunes first went non-DRM as well, and I wanted to move to Android.
Explain what DRM is.
Digital rights management. So
Lockdown.
That's when they lock it down so you can only use it on their platform.
Okay.
That's what
And-
iTunes
or
used to be.
on an iTunes application that you've signed into with your Apple ID.
Right.
It's locked even to your Apple ID.
So the only way I found to get around this, and I'm sure there are other ways, but it sucked. But I don't think the quality took too much of a hit. Was burn that music to a CD
And then rip it.
and re-rip the
Yep.
CD to
I
your
have-
hard drive.
I have a way to do it completely digitally.
I'm
Yep.
Owen.
Is it
Snooty?
Is it legal?
If you own the music, yeah.
He bought the music.
So there's a program out there called
it's true.
TuneByte.
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 BYT or BIT?
BITE.
BITE, okay.
And don't ask me if I got that legally, but the music I did own legally.
I won't ask.
And it sits between your audio card. It puts a virtual driver in, and so any device. The only problem is it's a 1-to-1 copy, right? Mm-hmm. So you have to play the music to get the music. But
1-to-1 meaning the time stamp. Like, wow.
Yep. So
Okay.
so it doesn't, like you said, you can burn it to a disc if you've got discs to waste. And then
Who doesn't?
yeah. I don't have any discs anymore, actually.
Really?
So
I still have them in a drawer. I have like 150
Yeah.
blank CDs.
So, I mean, you can do that if you want, but TuneByte, it works. At least it did when I was still pulling them off, because I only did it when they've been off DRM for quite a while, right? I mean, I
Yes.
haven't done it in 4 years or so,
Yeah,
maybe more.
It's
Yeah.
been at least that long. It was when I was in college.
Yeah,
So
but yeah, get a program called TuneByte. Pick it up. You can get the demo and maybe do one song. I think they limit you on time. There are other ways to get the application too, but I suggest you buy it. It's worth it if you've got a large backlog. And the way it works is it just installs a virtual driver. You play the song through iTunes and you hit record on the Tune Byte, and it will pick it up digitally, and you don't lose any quality because it's getting the same signal from the player that your speakers are. So there's no format change or quality loss. Anyway.
And iTunes actually does not support very many formats. They just support their own formats, so it makes it seem like they support a lot of formats. But if you're moving to Android, a good application that reads a ton of different formats is called Double Twist.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys have used that.
Yeah.
But I don't like to keep it all on my phone though. Like,
yeah,
that's one of the things
so
about
you have a Plex server.
So I have a Plex server, and I can
run that.
I run a lot of audio through that.
Owen Flicks.
Owen Flicks or O Entertainment. We haven't decided yet.
Owen.
I actually like that one better. Owen Entertainment.
O Entertainment. So I don't know, but yeah, I load a lot of my files up on the Plex, and then the media scanner they have on Plex doesn't do well on audio unless you buy
what do they have, an extension?
the Plex Pass.
Oh, Plex Pass.
If you buy the Plex Pass, then you can either subscribe to it or get a lifetime, but you get the Plex Pass and it'll let you into the Grace Note metadata, which is the same one iTunes uses actually to find metadata for songs.
So that's if you're really wanting to
then you got to
have a project. Plex is a great idea. If you got
to host that at your house. Actually,
if you want simplicity though, Double Twist is a good option
for sure. But Plex now has a cloud storage system.
They do.
Yeah, so
cloud server storage.
So you wouldn't even have to set it up at your house and run a Plex.
Well,
it
uses
the server, I guess.
It uses Amazon though, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
So you have to pay a fee each
right.
month.
You pay a monthly fee for hosting for
Yep.
usage of the server.
Speaking of Amazon, too, that was one thing that I wanted to mention is if you have Amazon Prime, which I'm assuming everybody at this table does, their music selection is actually pretty good. Yeah. They have a music app. I mean, it's not the best.
You get a million songs.
Yeah.
That's a lot. That's a lot.
But this is what I was going to suggest. If you have friends that also are into music, either do the family plan for the Google Google Music share family plan, or iTunes, which Jarron and Apple Music share a plan with that, and
$15.
You have to have an iPhone to do it that way.
No, I have the app on Android.
$15 for 6 people. It's a great deal.
Yeah,
is it a month?
Yeah. So you end $15 a month. So each person ends up paying like $3 a month.
Do you guys listen to that much music?
I do all the time.
I don't.
For real?
I
listen to more talk stuff.
I'll tell you what. For $3 a month, I listen to $3 a month worth of music.
Oh,
I feel you.
That's
okay.
true.
Yeah.
Yep. Last email from Salvador. I believe he's one of the Patreon backers. Is that right?
Ramon and Adam. So no.
No, I'm sorry.
He could be, though, tentatively.
Yeah, could be. Anyway, his name's Sal. He says, dang, have I found the G spot, and it is glorious.
Welcome.
Oh, yeah.
Fellas, keep trying one day and you'll find it. what are you implying?
I'm here now.
It's not going to happen.
We found it.
I'm like, ta-da!
What was that? Somebody who just touched me.
Okay, that's
Sorry.
enough of that. Dudes, I listen to podcast 8 hours a day at work, and you guys jumped to my #1 spot already.
Oh, for real?
Oh, yeah.
I love this
Guess
guy.
we found his G-spot. I murdered all your episodes, and I want more. Haha, thank you for everything. Saludos de Seattle.
Well,
cheers from Seattle.
If you want more, one of the stipulations, which I kind of made without talking to you guys, on Patreon is if we get up to $550 a month, not only do I get tased, but we turn into a weekly podcast.
This is starting to feel like Pledge Week from PBS.
Wait a second.
Yeah, I'll dial it back on the Pledge.
But it is worth mentioning.
Yeah, but just saying, if you want more, that's how you get it.
Yeah.
Yep.
I should have talked to you guys before about that, but
That's all news to us.
On there. Okay. Cool. All right. So let's get on to some sweet tech gadget gaming news. Jarron has several, by several I mean 2, reviews he wants to do this episode.
It's been a good gadget month for Jarron.
I'll say.
Yeah.
Gee whiz. And on top of that, you have gorgeous floors at your house.
Oh, thank you. Oh, I thought you were going to talk about my hair, but then you really...
He just really
No, you got a
switched it up.
haircut. I mean,
took
it's
a turn right there.
Yeah, you did.
He fooled you.
I know.
Your house.
Let's not talk about that.
You have gorgeous floors at your hair.
Thank you.
At your house.
So I got
hairs.
an iPhone 7 and a PS4 Pro, and I they're pretty much related. How I feel about them both.
Oh,
It's awesome when you take it in the shower.
Yes. All of them.
Whoa.
All right, so
So-
let's start with iPhone 7.
All right, so I upgraded from an iPhone 6 Plus, so I have an iPhone 7 Plus now.
So you just got rid of the headphone jack, and you're like, I don't need this anymore.
Yep.
Okay.
That's the only thing that changed.
Taking
Now
up real estate.
That was funny.
Sorry.
Jarron just is quiet.
Sorry, go ahead.
I'm completely deflated now.
Jarron.
That's
It's
the
a-
thing. Jarron isn't like his ecstatic piss tonight. He's the like quiet, brooding. I'm gonna drown you while you're asleep.
Just
kind of
wait
piss.
for it. Just wait.
We can get him. We'll get him
I
there.
just might. So, good things about the iPhone. It is crazy, crazy fast. Their processor team, like I've
Whoa,
said
whoa.
in previous episodes,
Two
is
crazies?
killing it.
Two crazies.
I'm upgrading 2 generations at once, so
Okay.
but it benchmarks similar to computers just from like 2 years ago, 2 or 3 years ago. It when you touch an icon, it feels like it opens just right there. There's hardly any waiting time. The camera is great. The battery life seems to be a little bit better. But
How do you like the
that's-
haptic feedback on it? Like with the apps and stuff.
I'll get to it.
Okay.
Battery life seems to be better, but that's just because I had my old phone for 2 years. So, yeah, you know.
Battery degradation is what he's talking
Yeah.
about right there.
Yeah, so 3D Touch, what they call the haptic feedback, it's pretty cool. It's like adding right-click menus to the whole OS. And
Context menus. Sweet.
they did this last year, but it really does make some things faster, and I really like it. Do I think it can be accomplished through a long press?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. I don't think 3D Touch is... It's nice. I don't think it's like too great, though. If they implemented it through a long press, I think it would have been just as good.
Okay, here's a question. How instantaneous is the 3D is the pressure sensitivity? So
It's
I'm
not
saying-
instantaneous.
So it feels like a long press anyway?
It's slightly
Yeah.
faster than a long press.
Oh.
So that's why I'm kind of down on it a little bit. I mean, it's faster than a long press, but not by much.
Yeah. Not appreciably.
Yeah, so you have to wait like half a second for it to actually register your long press. Yeah.
Thank you.
There it
just
is.
go. Just the long press. Why not just? Why?
Because that's Android.
But
Yeah.
Apple doesn't want to,
Touche.
you know, they have to call it something cool.
but
and
Apple
come out.
does have a long press. It feels like they've lengthened the long press though, so you actually have to push it longer.
People didn't get confused.
That might just be in my brain. Who knows? But overall, it's a phone, and phones are really getting boring. And it does exactly everything that my old phone did, just a little bit better.
It can communicate with outer space. That's boring.
Yeah.
Well, his old phone could do that, so
Yeah. So it's like
who cares?
the screen. It has more colors, but you don't really notice. Better camera, but ultimately, it's a phone, and it doesn't really excite me as like it used to.
By the way, that jelly bean.
Did
that
you finish the drink?
Yeah.
Okay.
The jelly bean that you put in it was banana, and I
What
hate
about the
bananas.
second jelly?
What
bean
about
you
the
put in
second
there?
one that you didn't see me put in? This
Are you for
camera
real?
right here saw it.
Yeah.
Are you for real?
Yeah.
Yep. Witness.
Continue. What was that?
You gotta watch the regular
I'm
show.
just on a regular show kick lately.
I don't get the reference, but I want you to like me.
Is it the new Rick and Morty?
No, the regular show.
regular
Wait,
show.
has Rick and Morty started back up yet?
No, it's next month.
Okay.
Yeah, December, right? They said it was going to be December. Oh yeah.
Hey, I'm putting I was right about Glenn dying in The Walking Dead. My next guess for how they're getting Rick out of jail is like I
Spoiler.
said before. Spoiler alert.
Yeah, you should have said that
It's-
before you mentioned
No, it's
Glenn
not-
dying
it's-
from The Walking
no.
Dead.
That was weeks ago. It's
No, yeah, yeah.
spoilers up. Like the
Oh yeah.
It's the butter thing machine. It's like, here,
Oh.
take butter to Rick. And he's like, okay. And he's gonna like kill a bunch of people. He's like, butter.
You already saw the
He's like
you already
this
saw the
big.
short. You saw the short,
This
right?
big.
The
Yeah, but there's gonna
the
be
little animated short they did with the bloody mice and the shooting and the Rick and the
Oh, I
No.
didn't watch that.
It's awesome.
Oh.
It's a little concept art, concept animation they
Awesome.
did, and it shows Rick like putting together a suit and kicking some rats' rear ends.
But did you guys saw the jury trial one with
Oh,
Rick
yeah.
and Morty, right?
That was
Yeah.
classic.
All right.
Someone actually animated it. Did you see the fully animated one?
No.
I did.
Yeah. It's pretty good.
That's all.
Is
I
it
got.
pretty good?
Yeah.
I can't believe it's a real thing.
That's a real
All right.
court transcript.
All right.
All right, so iPhone
Anyway,
7.
yeah, sorry, Jerry.
yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, right.
Sorry, Jerry.
I'm not really pissed about the headphone jack. I haven't needed to use it once in the few weeks I've had it. I wish there'll be times where I think I wish it's there, but I haven't encountered those times yet. I'll give it a 7.5 out of 10.
See, that's the one thing that bothers me is like that's
7.5?
That's the thing that people say about that headphone jack. It's like, well, I don't really use it very much, so I'm not really. It's,
You need it when you need it, though.
Yeah.
I mean, it has headphones that come with a lightning jack. So,
But still,
So this is what I wish.
You know what's funny is you have headphones with a lightning jack that come with your iPhone, but you can't use those headphones
Yeah.
with a
on
MacBook
the
Pro.
Have you seen the dongle heaven?
That's what I said last
memes
time,
going out there?
man.
Dongles upon dongles.
Yep.
Dongle fest.
Dongleception.
Dongle party. I know what that is. It's where you have dongles.
Yeah.
dongle.
I can't stop thinking about a dongle party right now. So it's a great phone, but it feels like there's things that smartphone manufacturers can do better in general.
Such as?
I really wish they would make gaming better on it. You know?
It's coming. I guarantee it's coming.
Because
You know-
touchscreen, I don't think has ever been a good form of input.
That's the biggest
for
problem.
gaming, and it feels like there's something they could do to help
Like
solve that.
what, though? I mean, Sony tried it with its PlayStation phone.
Maybe a la Nintendo Switch.
Well, that's the thing is if Nintendo, because what are they doing with Mario Run? Is that Nintendo dipping its feet into the mobile market?
Well, it's already dipped its feet with Pokemon Go and also
So
Miitomo.
how cool would it be if the Nintendo Switch, they came up with something like that for your phone where you clip it on the bottom?
Yeah, that's
clip
what
it
I'm
on the top,
saying.
and
Yeah,
ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba.
slide the controllers on both sides.
Yeah.
Voila, you got a
There's
freaking PlayStation
already
Vita.
a lot of stuff out there like that.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
first,
nothing mainstream.
first party support though. That would be
Yeah.
nice. That would actually.
first
Doesn't
party.
the NVIDIA
Yeah.
have one that does that?
NVIDIA has a...
It's not a phone,
It's
though.
not a phone.
No, but doesn't it clip onto your device, though? No?
No, it doesn't.
You're thinking of the NVIDIA Shield
Yeah.
controller,
Right.
and it has a built-in screen.
Yeah, okay.
But I'm not saying they have to do that. They just need to do something because mobile gaming, I think, is
I don't think
is
you'll
terrible.
I don't think you'll ever get there because nobody wants to carry around.
I wouldn't say
extra
ever.
pieces.
Yeah.
Well, I'd rather carry around extra pieces than a separate PlayStation Vita.
I don't know. I think it'd be kind of cool if they came out with like an iPhone case that you slide it to the side and then it's boom.
It would
Yeah.
be cool, but I just don't.
Well, point is,
That's years away.
it feels
Year-
like
we don't have the technology for that yet.
it feels like we've really stagnated in the smartphone market,
Definitely.
and it's getting kind of boring. Do I talk about PS4 Pro now? Are we doing it?
Nope.
Oh, but it relates to the iPhone review.
I'm so hungry.
You want to get all of your topics out of the way first?
Yeah, you're right. I won't talk the rest of the time if I do it now.
Yeah. Well, that might be good. Go ahead and do it with the PS4 review, Jarron.
What you got, Rigby?
Just
Sorry, you got me going on that show.
the regular show.
The regular show.
So we'll
Sorry.
come back. We'll come back to the PS4.
All right.
Let's talk about. Let's go in the gaming direction though. Let's talk about some Overwatch action.
Yep. So Overwatch has been teasing Sombra ever since the game came out. So here's what's disappointing is
Why is this exciting? I don't understand.
It's a new Overwatch character.
he's gonna get
Oh,
it.
okay.
Yeah.
Is this supposed to balance out the power?
Well,
No, just another one.
It's
Oh,
just
okay.
a different character. That's if Blizzard does one thing really, really well, it's balancing.
Right.
They're always getting in there, tweaking every little thing.
That's what she said.
So that's twerking. So,
Yeah.
the thing I like about Sombra is it's offensive character. Because I wasn't really a big fan of the last one they came out with, Anna, which is a medic sniper.
Yeah.
Oh.
Which, like, theoretically is really cool, but it's only effective in my play skills on the computer. It's not, I can't sniper somebody from halfway across the screen on my team to heal them. I'm just not that good with the joystick.
Oh, with the controller.
on Xbox. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Oh, so the sniper heals the people.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it can shoot people, but it can also heal people. I mean, there are people that are really good with it, but for my playstyle, I just wasn't excited when it came to that.
Sure.
So they released Sombra. She is a
Sombra.
She's a hacking character. A couple of her abilities are to run up to another player and disable their abilities for 5 seconds, go invisible, and run faster. And the really cool one is she can throw a teleporter. Shoot, and then activate the teleporter and then teleport to wherever she threw the teleporter.
Kind of like in Unreal Tournament
Oh, yeah.
2004 when you had the teleporter gun. You could fire it up there and then go back to it.
Yeah. So, here's the thing. I thought I would be able to play her today, but apparently she's not going to be out until like the 18th or something like that. I don't know exactly when she's dropping.
Lame.
Yeah. So I watched a bunch of Twitch streamers play as her, and she's a very Australian girl. What's her name from Overwatch? The dual gun. She's the one that's on the cover of Overwatch.
Nicole Kidman.
No.
She's from Australia.
No, she Blink. I don't remember. I know there's listeners out there that are screaming at the radio right now.
It's and it's not a radio.
If only
it's
we
a
had some sort of
Google.
search engine.
Google.
So let's see. It's not Blinky.
This is great radio right
I
here.
know,
Tracer.
right? Tracer. Yeah,
I got it. Pulled
You
it out
got
of my
it.
head.
You got it out of your head. That's right.
Anywho,
Going back to the 90s.
I would liken her
When
more
memories
to
mattered.
that. But yeah, she looks like a good addition. However, I did log on to play today, and when I saw that she wasn't available, I'm just not excited to play Overwatch
You
anymore.
just logged off.
Yeah,
I'm out.
I turned it off and went directly to Battlefield 1.
So how many hours have you played Overwatch?
Overwatch? Maybe like 18 or 19.
That's not a lot.
I don't know.
So
I'm not.
You
a
got bored of it
huge
after
So
that
this'll-
many?
Yeah.
This will change like the whole dynamic, though, right? Like people will be able to build new teams with that.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, that's the creative part of this, right? Like you could, like everybody, they just get together and play all. You can't all play as the same character in a party, right?
No, you can.
You can if you
Weird.
wanted to, but it's not effective at all.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Unless you're all Bastion, then you just win.
Oh my gosh. There's two characters that I hate. I hate Genji. Oh, I hate
You hate
Genji.
playing as or fighting against?
Both.
I like Genji.
Genji's the ninja, right? He's not
Cyborg ninja.
Yeah. Hanzo's awesome. Genji sucks. That guy can go die.
He's been beat by Genji before.
That sounds like
Oh,
it.
dude, I cannot hit Genji. If you're playing against me, play as Genji. You will win 10 out of 10 times. Yeah, Bastion can suck it too.
Bastion. I saw, on a related note, I saw a GIF of someone playing as Reaper. And the GIF was from the point of view of Bastion. Reaper teleports right in front of Bastion, who's just firing his turret
In that direction.
Teleports in front of him and gets blown away instantly. It's like, why would you teleport right in front of the gun?
Well, the funny thing about Bastion is that in the original beta, they gave Bastion a shield in front of him. He only had a 180-degree turn radius versus the 360, but he had 1,000 hit point shield.
That's
Line him up and let her rip.
yeah.
You know,
You can't lose with that.
no.
They've nerfed him twice so
Yeah.
far.
Yeah.
He's still fun to play as though. I think.
I am excited to see. Apparently, they're redoing the play of the game, but that requires me to give up my time playing Battlefield 1 and by the way, I just discovered Rocket League. I know I'm super late to that game.
Oh, Rocket League's good.
Rocket League's pretty fun.
Man.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's what you were playing when I jumped on with you, and I'm like, it's like car soccer, right?
Yeah,
car soccer.
It's stupid
Yeah,
fun.
it's car soccer. I think I'm gonna get it.
Yeah, dude, it's totally
It's worth it.
Yeah,
It's fun.
like mindless fun entertainment.
It's
right?
5 minutes of time.
That studio's made so much money off of that.
Oh yeah.
Crazy.
What's interesting too about that game is it's very much like Smash Brothers in that the controls are very simple to pick up.
Yeah.
They take a long time to really master.
Right.
And I've seen some plays on that game that I look at and I'm just like, the only way I would have accomplished that is pure dumb luck. But these people are actually that good that they can plan the plays that far ahead and control their car in midair enough to make them do the things
because
and
base
stuff.
Because
Do the things.
it really is like a race car. You got forward, reverse, stop, and then boost, and skid, but the thing is, and hop. But the thing is you can time your hop with your boost, and you can pretty much fly through the air. And
Right.
I haven't been able to do anything.
Yeah, I've done that like twice and been really excited when I did it, and then I couldn't reproduce the results there.
The feeling of excitement.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
I really brought it up.
Did you want to talk about your new controller too?
Pretty much I just upgraded my controller to
cool
2
story.
years newer. So now I have the headphone jack, so I don't have to use like my Xbox headphones. I can use any pair of headphones I want. It's awesome.
I love that. That was a feature PlayStation did in their controllers 3 years ago, and Xbox copied, and it's the best thing ever.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's just amazing.
It is. For people that don't want to buy a headset.
So you can use your cell phone headset.
Well, I
Yeah,
use
mic
this
for the
headset.
mic too. For the
But
mic too,
it
or
doesn't
what?
have a mic.
No,
Oh,
no.
okay.
I mean, if you have the iPhone, you can use the mic on it. The iPhone headphones.
any cell phone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
I don't know.
the one thing
I tried the iPhone one on the Xbox One S controller, and the microphone had some weird issues.
Oh, really?
actually.
The one thing I don't like about it is when I buy headphones for gaming, I want to get the ones that have the surround sound, and they don't. It doesn't broadcast.
Well, not everyone
surround
has
sound.
an endless, deep-pocketed pocket
Says the guy who is drowning in gadgets this month.
These headphones give me surround sound when I plug it in.
No.
Yeah.
It doesn't do surround sound from the game to the controller to
Well,
the
it's
headphone.
good enough for my needs.
It'll sound good.
Oh yeah,
but
it
you
won't get it in.
You won't get positional surround sound.
No.
Have you guys ever had the problem where your gaming headphones swap? Like it thinks that the right ear is the left ear?
Yeah, I take them off and turn them around to the right
but the problem with
direction.
that is then my microphone is going the other way.
Right.
So like, how do I solve that?
L, R.
And you just follow the
Yeah.
L means left, so you put that on
No,
the left
it's
side.
a wireless.
Yeah, it still shows L and R.
Yeah, it does.
Yep.
Wait, what?
So you know how?
So James doesn't know the difference between left and
okay,
right.
I have a microphone that comes around to the front of my face.
Yeah.
From my left,
Uh-huh.
and then I got my right. You're saying take it off and turn it around, right?
A lot of the microphones will just swivel back the other
Mine
way.
doesn't. It plugs in.
What brand is this?
It's the kind that I don't trust the government, so like I can take it out.
Did you check for a jack on the other side?
No.
You might want to do that.
How much do you want to bet? I will make you a bet right now that it is not on the other side. I'll donate another $2 to our Patreon account if it is.
There probably isn't. But
Redhead.
the point is, you're wrong. Look at his face.
Just like Rigby.
Wait. We have videos for this now.
Oh, that's right.
I like how you're pointing that at me as if I don't already have a GoPro like pointed at me.
Yeah.
There got one on him.
2.
Double footage. We should all just point all of them at him for a second.
Yeah.
You're right. Those Sour Punch straws are pretty dried out.
Yeah.
It actually
Yeah,
makes them better.
They're really chewy now.
Yeah, before they were all stuck together and not good.
The only time I eat those straws, if I can help it, other than last time's podcast, is when I'm going to the cheap movie theaters.
Oh yeah.
I ate a bunch of them the other day and I had to stop because it ripped up the roof of my mouth.
Oh yeah. Sour Patch Syndrome.
Yep. Okay, let's talk real quick about. I hate talking about rumors, but this rumor's popped up in so many places that it might. hold
Disney's
some water.
buying Netflix.
That's not what I'm talking about.
Okay.
Good rumor though.
NVIDIA 1080 Ti.
Oh, I'm out.
Well,
I'm listening
James
still,
is
Tony, because I
powering
really
off.
like this part of the program.
I'm just kidding. I'm bet.
turn James's
No,
microphone off.
don't mute me.
Okay. So, rumors are abounding right now. The 1080 Ti is already in production, and it will feature 10 gigabytes of VRAM instead of the 8 that a 1080 has.
Wow.
And then the rumors stop there, basically, because nobody knows still how much it costs. The rumors all say less than a Titan X, which it better dang
How much RAM does the Titan X have?
12.
Oh, so it's in between.
So it'll be in between the 1080 and the Titan X. But nobody knows how many compute units on the GPU are enabled. What you guys doing over there?
I'm motioning to him.
flipping
12.
me off.
No,
Like
he's
a big
he was
jerk.
giving Jarron some sign language, trying to not interrupt Tony. And
So
I'm not interrupting you.
So what's the performance increase supposed to be on these?
that's as far as the rumor goes.
How many
All they've-
teraflops?
All they've seen is the box that says 10 gigabytes of VRAM. It's safe to assume that it'll probably be about 90 to 95% as good as a Titan X, because that's what the Ti series has been in the past with the 780 Ti and the 980 Ti.
so somebody at the cardboard factory saw the boxes going out of production. Was like, snap a picture with my cell phone.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
I saw that on Black Mirror once.
Yeah, they'll do that thing.
And then they die.
So
I'm convinced that's how movies get like bootlegged, like the Blu-rays get bootlegged, because they produce them, the actual discs, like out of the country, and somebody just snags them all
one.
off the line.
and then just uploads it.
Yeah.
Wouldn't surprise me at all.
Whoops.
What was I going to say? 1080 Ti, something. I don't know. Looks pretty cool.
Good.
That's
That was
all I
like
got.
a me finish
That
right
was.
there.
It was bad.
It looks cool, whatever.
Stumbling across the finish line.
Nobody's saying anything. I give up.
Okay, next. Owen.
This better be good to be too.
Owen.
I don't know if it's going to be good.
Let's talk about
With a little bit more confidence, buddy.
yeah.
let's talk about drones.
Oh yeah. So
Wait, what? Are
yeah.
you going to talk about the GoPro?
the
No.
GoPro did
Yes.
not do very good.
Yeah.
Falling out of the sky.
If you, just like their stock prices. If you have stock in GoPro,
Get out.
sell, baby, sell.
Oh man, they were already declining, right? They
Yeah.
were already having a hard time, and then they came out of this drone. Did you know they were partnered with DJI in this whole thing, and then decided to back out and make their own
you
drone.
serious?
Yeah,
Those epic
I believe it.
fools.
So
Oh,
and
they
the
tried to pull a Sony and Nintendo.
Yeah, they did
My.
they did the old Google thing. You remember when Google was having their phones made by somebody at the very beginning? The G1 was made by HTC, I think.
Yep.
And then finally Google was like, nah, we're going to go make our own Nexus. Good luck with that. Peace. And, the Android operating system was only on HTC phones at first, and then they killed them that way. Anyway, so, yeah, the what do they call that one? The Karma? Is that what it's called? And, it's suffering from some bad karma.
Literally.
Nailed it. I've been planning that all day. all day.
Man.
I was like, I'm going to say bad karma.
Good joke, man.
Yeah.
You're just logging it away in your noggin.
Yep. I was there all day, like a. Yeah.
And I didn't even have to
Like a
fly
bot
these.
fly.
I didn't have to fly these drones for them to fall out of the sky.
I know.
Oh my God.
It wasn't even you this time.
Yeah, so when the drones first came out, we were like, oh, cool, it can fold up, and it's really small, and you can hook a GoPro to it. Not included in the price of the drone. So you have to have your
No.
own.
That's the one that does have the GoPro.
Yeah, it's
Well,
the
you can
GoPro,
buy,
but it doesn't.
You can buy one without
Yeah.
it, or you can
Yeah.
buy one with it.
They
so
do
it doesn't-
bundle it.
It doesn't come.
And then
the standard.
DJI, like a week later, came out with like the
With their own
So much
folding,
better looking
so
drone.
much better with all the DJI cool stuff, like
Yep.
the obstacle, like stopping, all the cool bells and whistles that DJI had.
Yep.
And then
From a company that has already proven
yeah,
itself to
exactly.
make good drones.
So it had this fantastic drone that came out and just automatically competed with Karma, like blew it out of the water. And then the Karma drones started falling out of the sky.
yeah.
And they recalled them. So if you have one, go get your money back.
Well,
they're
apparently-
not,
Go get your
they're-
money!
They're not giving replacements. They're recalled. So I think you're getting a refund.
you should get a refund.
Yeah.
I
They
think.
only
so.
had to recall like 2,500, so,
Yeah, so-
not many people bought them.
That's
So
all
people
they
are like,
sold.
I'm not doing
Yeah.
that. Yeah, pretty sad.
Yeah, I would definitely go with the DJI one personally.
Yeah.
And
I
you know
mean-
what? Like Phantom 3s, they're going for cheap right now.
I saw
Yup.
one the other day for $340.
Yeah.
No, that
I
was
wanted
a
to buy
Phantom
it.
2, wasn't
No,
it?
that
it
was a Phantom 3.
For real?
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh,
I'd
that's
do
a
that
good
for
price.
$300.
It wasn't 4K.
They're normally like
but-
$600.
matter.
I think it was the 2.7K.
Yeah, 2.7K. But
Yeah, it's still
that
good.
was a good price.
Yeah,
I
way
want
good
it.
price. Pretty crazy.
Yep.
So, speaking of
Literally falling out of the sky.
falling out of... Nope, I don't have any sort of segue to this.
Don't even try.
Do you guys all use Voodoo for movies?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't.
Some of us?
I
Some
do
of-
not.
Some of
I
us
got
do here.
I have O Entertainment.
Right.
If you have,
I don't know what Voodoo is.
If you have any ultraviolet movies, Voodoo's the
Oh,
best place to
right.
watch them.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Voodoo announced that it will have 100% offline viewing capabilities.
Oh,
soon.
really?
Yeah.
It's out already on
Oh,
iPhone.
is it out?
Yeah.
Okay, so
So you sync it to
you
your
can-
own piece of
you
hardware?
can download the video to your
Ooh.
phone and watch it without an internet
Excellent
connection.
method.
Well,
for
you could do
gaining
that.
movies.
You could do that for a while, I thought, but now it's actually in 1080p.
How do
Was
they
that what it is
reconcile
they-
that?
And
do they-
also,
I don't know if that. I thought it was new
How do they reconcile that with copyright infringement? Like, how do they
because
do that
you still have
without?
to verify your account.
Is it got DRM on it though? How do you down? I mean, if you download it to a device, if you're pulling it from their location, which is secure, to your location, what's to say you can't? Take it.
Science.
Oh,
Yeah,
I'm just
science.
wondering how they reconcile that with the company.
In the article that I found about it, it just says that they revamped everything and now you can. Not that it was available in the past already.
I've had the app, and that option has been available for a while. But now I think it's just in 1080p. Another cool option they brought to the iPhone app is now you can AirPlay it in 1080p
Oh,
to
cool.
the Apple TV.
Yep.
And since Apple seems to be blocking a third-party app for whatever reason, because it's still not on Apple TV, this is the only option you have to get ultraviolet movies onto your Apple TV.
Now you got the full HD. X. HDX is what they call it.
Yep. But Vudu does 4K movies. Apple TV does not. So if you want 4K movies, you have to use Vudu on another platform.
Such as the Roku
4?
4,
Yeah.
or is it the Roku X?
Roku, yeah, or the Chromecast
Or
will
the
do 4K.
Chromecast Ultra, right?
Chromecast Ultra.
Yeah,
and then
so
what's that
Chromecast
new
Ultra.
box? That
PS4.
Xiaomi? Did they make the Mi box?
The
Is
Mi
that-
Box.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
They'll
imagine
do it.
Android TV would support it.
Yeah.
And PS4 has it as well.
Yep.
So basically everything but Apple. I mean,
does
we just
PS4 have Voodoo?
They do. I don't know if the app's been updated yet.
Okay, but
did we
it
just
should.
did we just list everything but Apple?
Yeah.
Okay.
The Xbox has Vudu as well.
Yeah.
That'll do 4K.
Okay.
Yep.
So
So, everything but Apple.
Everything but Apple.
Yep.
Apple's not going to acknowledge 4K for another 2 years, and
No,
then
then
when
they'll
they
call
do,
it- yep.
And it
it'll
pisses
be-
me off
it'll
so
be-
much.
When they do finally acknowledge it, it'll be a big deal that they invented.
It'll be new.
Guys,
Look at this.
new-
And it
new-
won't have a headphone jack.
my
new
my,
and the best.
my love of Apple is dangling by a thread.
Waning. Is it
What?
waning?
Yes, it's being supported by a thread. What's
So-
that phrase?
Dangling by a thread. You're right.
Hanging
Okay.
by a
Hanging
thread.
by-
Hanging by a thread.
Oh, I was wrong. Hanging by a thread.
Hanging by a
well done,
thread.
James.
I'm just
Well
thinking
done.
of dangling.
James,
for
I
some
need one of
reason.
those.
I'm just thinking of dangling.
Yeah.
I already gave you a high five. Put your hand down.
Ouch. I mean, not really. You know, you could always come over to the Nexus family with the
Jokes. I don't want to deny the high
the Pixel.
The
Oh.
Pixel isn't Nexus, but
It's-
I have
it
been
is- it
tempted
is-
by
it
the
is.
Pixel.
I have seen and held a Pixel phone,
Have
and
you
it
seen
is fantastic.
the camera on the Pixel, like the actual photos people have taken?
Yes.
They are freaking
They are
amazing.
They are.
They're amazing.
And
I think it's the big glass on the back that they have
the
for no reason.
The crazy thing is that they don't even have OIS on it. They're
Yeah,
doing this.
it's all digital.
Yeah, it's all digital. So
Yeah.
they're achieving these crazy low light photos without optical image stabilization.
You could have taken a picture of the supermoon.
That's tonight.
Yeah.
That's tonight?
Yeah.
I thought that was last night.
No, it was last night.
Oh,
Yeah.
I thought it was
It was
tonight.
last night.
Yeah, it was
No.
last night.
I was cursing because the
nuts.
clouds covered it.
I missed it.
Oh,
Anyway.
good
Well,
thing
maybe
I-
from where you live.
Yeah, which is up north.
hours and hours
Nar-
and hours.
nar-
Does the sun ever come out up there? Yeah.
A couple
All right.
hours. But I'm at work
A few hours a year.
down here.
And here's Jarron reviewing the PS4 Pro.
It's so
Speaking of video games,
Is it me again?
here's Jarron reviewing the PS4 Pro.
Yeah. Tony gets off on being the boss.
In control.
Yep, that's him.
Dance, puppets, dance.
Okie dokie. Oh, I was the only one? All right.
I don't mind.
Okie dokie. So, in relating this to the iPhone 7 review, the PS4 Pro feels like an upgrade from a previous generation phone. It's definitely not the next generation console, but it's like a medium step.
So you got the new Xbox and the new PlayStation?
Yeah.
Told you. Drowning in gadgets. Deep pockets, Jarron.
Please don't rob me. No, this is what you do. So, my brother...
You go to college, you get a good job, you start saving your money,
And then you spend it all on gadgets.
And video cards.
No,
right, Tony?
this
and
Yep,
nice
and video,
flooring.
and
Yeah.
video cards.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right.
There it is.
There it is.
Here it comes!
Interrupt me as much as you want. Whatever. I don't care anymore.
All right. Tell us about the PS4, Rigby.
No, this is what you do. You buy a gadget, you sell said gadget, and you take that money that you sold said gadget from, and
That-
you apply it to the new gadget.
That worked out pretty good for you
That's
this
a-
time, right?
That's a good
so
cycle.
for me, it's like $150 upgrade.
Who's the
That's
sucker
not
that
that
bought
bad.
your PS4?
He hasn't sold it yet.
Nobody yet.
Oh,
So you get a new object, you hold on to the old object, you mean to put it online. I'm just kidding, that's what I
See,
did.
that's
this
what
I
time.
happens
have
with
many.
the rest of
I
us.
have all sorts of
I
gadgets
did
just
that-
like that in my house.
I did that with my Wii.
I thought you sold that.
I did.
Oh, you sold your Wii U.
Yeah, my Wii U.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know where my Wii is.
I have
They're
sold
stopping production
so
of that.
many gadgets in the last 2 years that have paid for so many gadgets this year. It's crazy. So anyway, PS4 Pro. To summarize, I would only buy it if you have a 4K TV.
That's why I'm not buying one yet. And even though you
Yep.
keep trying to get me to buy one,
Yep.
I'm not doing it yet.
When are you getting a 4K TV?
Maybe next year. We'll see how things shake out.
Oh, okay.
I definitely see an increase in graphics for sure. It looks great on my Vizio. It has HDR support, but the old PlayStation 4s now have HDR support. But for some reason, the HDR seems better on the PS4
Just
Pro.
you convincing yourself
Probably.
that the money you spent was worth it.
No, but
Like a crazy person.
I do that too. My graphics, when I got the 21080s, so much better than the 970s.
But I think there's a real reason for this, though. So the old PS4s, they're not using HDMI 2. Now, they're using HDMI 1.4.
Which
now,
means they use, what, 420?
yeah, so it uses 420. It's using the old it's using the old HDMI spec, which doesn't pass as much information through the cable.
Right.
And so the new PS4 Pro can pass more information through the cable.
What's the word for the 420? I
420?
forget. No, what's that called?
Oh,
A number?
Pixel subsampling, something.
Something like that.
So anyway, 420. The new PS4 Pro uses 422 over HDR.
What does the Xbox One use?
420.
Does it?
Yeah, it does.
I thought it was 444.
So 444 HDR is not possible right now.
Oh.
The current HDMI cables out there, the fastest ones you can get are 18 gigabits per second. They do not support 444 10-bit color.
Yeah, you know why? Because HDMI is poopy.
It is poopy.
Everything needs to switch to DisplayPort because
Yeah.
it's much better.
Yeah, so
and not.
And no TV
Or
supports
go
it.
back to composite cables.
Only-
Pick a lane.
Okay.
do you want to explain what 444 is, Tony, a little bit?
444.
No.
You don't understand, do you?
I know that it's better.
So what 444 is? It's a way of
Isn't it just uncompressed
So
color?
444
color
versus
reproduction?
422 and 420. It's how they compress the pixels in the stream from the box to the TV. So 420 will compress the pixels quite a bit. So like if you have a TV screen that's 420, if you see like written word, it'll make the letters like all jumbly and not like actual
Not
Fuzzy.
clear.
They'll be fuzzy.
Yeah, not clear. So
Yeah.
a 444 signal will make the letters like you're looking at a monitor.
Right.
But if the signal is compressed, it'll make it so the letters are really hard to read because it's like taking out some of the information in the stream. So PS4 Pro does 422, which is nice. It also does 420 if you want that. It looks really good though.
My graphics cards do 444.
We've seen that. It's actually pretty
And
awesome.
there are monitors out there you can buy that do 444.
With display port?
With DisplayPort.
Yeah.
PC Master
Really?
Race.
Oh.
PC Master
But there are
Race.
no monitors out there that do HDR right now.
Not yet.
Not yet. So HDR is two things, 10-bit color or 12-bit color and contrast. So the monitors, they do the 10-bit or 12-bit
I've got a
color.
10-bit color monitor,
It just doesn't do the contrast.
but I don't have the contrast of HDR.
Oh, that'd be sweet when that comes out.
Oh,
so
yeah.
that's where consoles have the upper hand, and the games look really good.
HDR is awesome.
It is. It's cool. And I've played Uncharted 4, Ratchet and Clank, The Last of Us, and Infamous First Light. Ratchet and Clank actually looks probably one of the best out of all of them. That game, it looks amazing. Like, it's really colorful.
I think
There's detail everywhere. James looks like he's stoned right now.
No, I was staring at our Patreon backers.
Yeah,
creepy.
okay.
I think one of the reasons Ratchet and Clank looks so good is they have amazing art direction.
And
Yeah.
always have, right?
Yeah,
Like,
they-
they
that's-
always have.
Yep.
In
Who
the
does
games.
Ratchet and Clank?
It's Insomniac.
Insomniac, yeah,
Yeah.
it is.
Cool.
Uncharted 4 looks amazing as well. Like the detail you see, like clear out there in the environment, like when you're on the top of a building or like looking out on the island, it looks amazing. What they're doing with the PS4 Pro is, I think they're doing a great job.
I've watched quite a few videos on the difference in quality between a PS4 and a PS4 Pro. Usually I watch them on Digital Foundry's YouTube channel.
Digital Foundry is a great YouTube channel.
They are the best when it comes to analyzing video game graphics.
Yeah, they
console, PC, whatever. And one thing they've noted too is most of the games not only give you 4K. Well, there's only a few that are actual native 4K. A lot of them use an upscaling technique that is actually pretty good.
Yeah.
Some of them use something called checkerboarding, which is proven to be pretty good if it's implemented correctly, and then the other ones just use old school upscaling with a few new bells and whistles on the aliasing side of things to smooth out the jaggies. But along with that, a lot of the games support more detail in the game world
Yeah.
as well. So, like one of the games that does run full 4K is Skyrim Special Edition on PS4 Pro. And not only is it full 4K resolution, native 4K resolution, it also has more detail further off in the distance. So you can look at the same screenshot using a PS4 and one using PS4 Pro, and there you can see details off in the distance that you can't see on a regular PS4.
Yeah, similar with Uncharted. There's a scene where you're driving in a boat at night to an island, and the rain on the windshield, it wasn't apparent on the PS4, but on the PS4 Pro, it just looks sharp, looks really good. So I think it was definitely a worthwhile investment. If you have a 4K TV, I would suggest definitely get a PS4 Pro. If you don't, wait until you get a 4K TV.
Unless you don't have a PlayStation 4 at all. If you're going out to buy a PS4, I would say get the Pro for
Yep.
sure.
Yep. It's only
Because-
$100 more than the Slim.
Yep. And
Definitely worth it.
each game has a setting. I don't know if it's in the game or in the general PS4 settings.
It'd be in the game.
Okay, so you can either choose to have it run at 4K if your screen supports it, or you can have it run at 1080p. And
Well, that,
For what benefit, though?
some
Like
of the
just-
games, the benefits are some of them is a more stable frame rate.
Oh, okay.
But more often than not, what it does is it still renders it natively at whatever it was, like 1440p or whatever.
it just downsamples
and
it.
it downsamples it, so that creates really nice textures and really crisp lines without jaggies. So if you don't have a PS4 and you want to get one, I'd say definitely jump into the Pro.
Yeah. However, how it's supported, it differs by the game. So
yeah,
like,
it does. It does.
Rise of the Tomb Raider, apparently it'll have a bunch of options for 1080p people, but for Uncharted, I don't really see any options to choose from. Same with The Last of Us or Ratchet and Clank. It's just what you see is what you get, and you can't really change it. So it really depends on who's making the game.
When you play Uncharted as a full-haired man with a 4K TV and a PS4, the new one, do you dress up like Nathan Drake, or do you just play it as an average gamer?
He dresses up like Nathan Drake every day.
Yeah.
It's the first thing he does when he gets home.
I went to American Eagle a few months ago. I saw some Henleys. Nathan Drake always wears Henleys. And I said, I am buying these. And I bought them. And then I wore them.
You want to know what the sad thing is? Is I had the exact same experience with Henleys. Like somebody else I saw wore them. I'm like, that.
What the heck is a Henley?
That, right? It's a long sleeve, or I guess, could it be a short sleeve?
Owen, were you messing with my audio?
Sorry. I've been unplugging his headphones for the last 30 seconds or so, every second or so. And he's been like,
Owen,
well,
you are a jerk.
Is that why he kept touching his headphones?
He's like, no, I'm not going crazy. He's like, I'm not going crazy. Sorry. Oh, it was like a kitten.
It's Punchies from Rigby.
Raccoon, okay?
Sorry, Jarron. I couldn't help it. I waited, though, till you weren't talking, though, because I didn't want to, throw you off in the middle of your cool PS4
Why? That
Pro.
would have
You
even
were
been
doing it
better.
while I was talking.
It wasn't until you I was doing it when James started talking, and then you replied, and I couldn't help it. It was already like a train wreck. I couldn't stop.
Oh, funny.
So I would get PlayStation 4 Pro.
Yeah.
Well, for me, my use case, I'd give it a 9 because I have a 4K TV. If I didn't, I would probably give it a 7.
Okay. So that brings up the next topic I want to talk about. Is 4K gaming a waste on consoles?
What do you mean?
The problem, so there's a really interesting, it's short, but it's pretty interesting article that we're going to post in the notes, where they talk to one of the lead developers on Doom. And Doom, this lead developer, he was specifically saying that the power of the Xbox Scorpio, Project Scorpio coming out, and I would assume as well the PS4 Pro, is wasted on trying to render 4K video.
Why?
Most of the games on the PS4 Pro aren't true 4K.
Right.
And what they're doing is upscaling and adding other effects. And I think that's the right way to go.
Only some of them are adding other effects. Some of them don't add anything.
True, but I really think it's the right way to not do true 4K and
So you're
do
saying you
1440p instead and upscale it to the 4K.
So you gotta join the PC Master Race in order to get 4K gaming. Is that the
That is
the consensus?
Yes.
Well, I don't think you need it anyway if you're gaming on a console.
That's
because
what he was bringing up. He
You're
said,
15 feet away from your TV, 10 feet away, and
Yep.
you can't tell the difference.
That's
So,
exactly what he was saying. He was saying you sit so far away, most people, from a TV when they're playing on console, that you lose the visual fidelity of that high of a resolution anyway by the time you're seated at your couch.
I think 1440p is the right resolution to target. 1080p, I can tell a difference between 1080p and 1440p, but beyond that,
and what?
not really.
What? Let me click on the.
Also, and I would think
can't
that you
remember
could
the
tell the
guy's
difference
name
in
here.
resolution game to game, right? Like, you can probably tell more so with Uncharted versus a Ratchet and Clank game, right?
Well, that's an art direction more than
Yeah.
anything. So let's see. This fella's name is
Ben and Jerry.
Andrew Lauritsen. Dang it. Nope.
Wasn't even close.
Johnson & Johnson?
Tiago Sousa, id Software. Yeah, Tiago Sousa. And his suggestion is to keep things at 1080p and just make the graphics much prettier on 1080p. Better texture resolution, better more particle effects, better solid frame rate.
I disagree
Basically,
with 1080p. I'd go a little bit higher than that.
He's saying that the consoles that are the mid-generation jumps, to me, what this means is these should have been the first generation
that's
consoles.
what I'm saying.
And they should have just been targeting 1080p, 60 frames per
Yeah.
second from the get-go.
I don't understand, and I get the marketing understanding of this where they want to do a mid-generation jump because then all these PS4 owners will go out and dig into their deep pockets and get the PS4 Pro
Yep.
and attempt to sell their PS4. But either way,
Well, see, and that's
PlayStation gets their money.
and that's the interesting thing too is
Sony.
when you look at the Project Scorpio is going to have 6 teraflops of compute
That's what I'm
power.
holding out for is the next generation of Xbox One, right? The
So
Scorpio, which
That's yeah.
but it's yeah.
It's still not a new generation. It's a mid-generation upgrade, but it's going to be significant.
Yeah, that one's not.
It's going to be significant, but still, if you want to do native 4K gaming, and I've talked about this before on the show, 6 teraflops is not going to cut it.
Yeah.
You can do 6 teraflops 4K gaming if you want all the graphics settings on low or medium, but you're not going to be able to run graphics settings on high at 4K. My rig, and I've spent more money than I care to mention, and I feel ashamed of, actually, over the years building this PC rig out, and that one will just barely do 4K ultra settings between 40 to 60 frames per second.
And that's recently since you got those.
And that's
new
recently,
cards.
yeah.
Right. It's like the pixel density wars of the smartphones a
Very
few years
similar,
ago.
yes.
It gets to a point where it doesn't matter anymore, and developers should be targeting other things.
Well, and the other interesting thing, too, and Digital Foundry mentioned this in one of their videos I watched yesterday or today, with the new techniques that these companies are using to kind of mask the fact that they're not running native 4K and that they're upscaling, these new rendering technologies they're using are actually good enough that it makes it really hard to see a huge visual difference, especially from the aspect of sitting on a couch 10, 15 feet away from the console, because you're just not close enough to see the very minute, fine details on the edges of things that you would see 4K on a monitor that your computer is, when you sit 3 feet away.
So apparently The Last of Us does run at native 4K.
The Last of Us does, Skyrim Special Edition does, and those
Is
are
anybody
the
here
only two
going to
that
get
I know of
Skyrim
for sure.
Special Edition?
Well, I got it for PC because it was free, because I already have it on PC.
Did any of you get the Titanfall 2 deal that was going on Amazon? Did you
No.
guys see that?
$35?
The $30
I
deal?
wanted
There's
on
one for
Amazon?
30 right now.
Yeah, it's over now. I saw that.
But
that's
it's
a
a
bummer.
disc. I got to do
yeah.
digital.
Oh, yeah, that we
Yep.
talked about that. That's
Yeah.
right. I would have done it if it was digital.
If it was digital, I would have done it
Oh, yeah.
100%.
Anyway, so what I was saying was Last of Us is at 4K.
Yeah.
Uncharted is not. I think I can't tell the difference
Well,
as far as resolution.
yeah, but you're also looking at two different, you're looking at one version of the game engine versus a much better version of the game engine.
Yeah, I'm talking about sharpness though.
Okay. And the concession you make to play Last of Us at 4K is stops at
30 frames per
30
second.
frames per second.
One
Not
thing about
60.
the PS4 Pro though does not have 4K Blu-ray, so that's what
can you
keeps
believe that?
that's what keeps the Xbox One S alive.
Wow. They didn't do that?
Sony owns Blu-ray.
They did.
But
yeah, they own.
they didn't put 4K Blu-ray.
Yep.
They
players.
own the key and the lock. And
Yeah.
that they own.
Yep,
oh.
they didn't put it in there.
Oh.
They're, I guess, trying to target $400, and they needed to keep their margins up. So
They gotta,
no
well, they gotta
4K
have,
Blu-ray.
They got to have a reason for you to buy the actual next generation, though.
Right.
So
Yep.
4K
they
Blu-ray.
I feel like that's the thing, is that with technology now, like, they have the capability to build fantastic systems. They just hold off to get people to product buy, just like Apple's doing with
With
incremental.
4K.
Yeah, incremental.
How many generations do you think they have of different iterations of the phone for the future, all ready to go right now?
Ready to go? None.
Oh,
well,
yeah.
I mean, not like ready to go, but like well enough. If they needed to release it like tomorrow, I think at least
like
the
processor size and stuff.
I would say, as far as engineering goes, they probably are pretty close to 2 generations ahead of us. This is
You think?
speculation.
Yeah.
But the problem isn't in the engineering; it's in the getting the manufacturing up and going. Because every time they manufacture a new phone, they have to make new assembly lines, new molds, new chip.
But I'm talking about like the
manufacturing.
ideas for the
Oh,
next
yeah.
couple phones.
I'm sure they have the next couple phones already planned
and
out.
do you
I
think-
I read the Steve Jobs biography, and I think I read somewhere in there they had 5 years planned out.
Yeah. See,
What iPhone was out when he died?
4S.
Yeah,
And didn't they have the 6 by the time that when he died? That's the phone the last phone that he worked on was like the 6 or 6S or something.
It
Yeah.
was a 5S, I think, was the last one he worked on.
Um,
And even then, I'm sure that he did it begrudgingly because it had a larger screen than
yeah, than the 4-inch.
4-inch.
Yeah. Do you think they'll name the Xbox One something else? I mean, they've already blown their best name, Xbox
One.
One. Like, this
How about
is the
Xbox 2?
Yeah,
No, they'll put the S at the end to designate it as like super. Oh wait, they did that.
Yeah,
already.
they did that.
that's a mid-generation.
No,
though.
it'll be
Like, I'm talking about
Xbox-
next gen.
Xbox One X.
Xbox
Ooh.
X,
Xbox
Xbox
X.
X,
Xbox One X.
Oh, now
X,
we're moving
X,
into
X.
Hey,
dangerous
speaking of
territory.
which, did you get the PSVR?
No, but I've.
Are you going to?
No, my brother has it, so if I want to use it, I'll just go over there.
I think that they need more games before I'm going to even consider
I want a
big
game,
content
not an
like that.
experience.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Speaking of X's and gaming,
Hello.
Did you guys see? I'll have to add this to the notes.
I'm interested.
This is just
You perked my attention.
this is a quick a side note. NVIDIA that's working with Nintendo on the new
Oh,
Switch.
boring.
Yeah.
NVIDIA, yeah!
I'm out.
Nintendo, yeah! I can't remember the guy's name. Jen Sun Shu or something like that. The guy who is the CEO of NVIDIA.
Young Soon, yeah.
Something like that. I'll have to look it again. I feel like...
You guys are racist.
I felt racist just saying that.
I'm just
Anyway.
waiting for the Chinese accent to come out over there.
Nope, I've learned my
Okay.
lesson.
No,
Twitter
you-
taught me good.
Good for you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
He's okay.
Jen Soon Huang.
Jen Sun Huang, yeah. He said that NVIDIA and Nintendo are looking at the next 2 decades worth of hardware together.
2 decades?
Yeah.
Good news.
So that
is
would
great news.
That's good news for Nintendo.
that would
And NVIDIA.
that would
NVIDIA's,
imply
it's okay.
that
And
would-
good news for Tony, too.
Yeah, that's Tony.
That-
NVIDIA fanboy.
Are you done
Yay.
talking yet? That would
I'm excited for this.
That would imply backwards compatibility for the next 20 years.
Maybe.
That would be sweet.
Yeah.
But how's Nintendo going to continue selling us the same games
Zelda.
over and over and over and over?
Just
and
say
over
Zelda
again?
and Super Smash Brothers.
Why do you need to ask that question? They've already been doing it for
Zelda
the last
Mario
10 years.
People
Zelda
will buy
Mario
it.
Smash Brothers.
Yeah.
Are you-
Mario Kart, Mario Party? You know, they just
Give me Double Dash 2 and then I will buy.
Yeah.
Right?
Uh-huh.
I like that one. Me, me, me.
I've seen you without your shirt off. Don't make me whip it out.
what?
The picture of
Oh, man.
Oh, dear.
I just
got-
imagine Tony and James's
Well,
dingy.
so the
you
Nintendo
mean
console,
dongle?
if you want a throwback, you can go get the console
dangling
while you wait.
dongles.
Oh, yes. So let's talk a little bit about the Nintendo throwback.
Yeah,
Or
the
no,
little,
the Nintendo
little
Classic.
the little
excuse me.
classic. Yeah.
Nintendo throwback. It's made with real sugar.
So they've got like 60 games on there, right? They've got
30.
30
games for
games
$60.
for $60. That's what it is.
For $1,800.
Yeah, exactly.
If you're
It's
stupid.
It's sold out on Amazon in 0 seconds. Is what there was no value.
Are you guys gonna buy one?
I'm gonna make one.
When
I think that's what I want to do.
When I can find one, I'm going to buy one.
Hey, when you make one, let me get you a GoPro and you can time lapse you
Yeah,
putting it
that's the
together.
thing.
Oh, that'd be cool.
I think that's what I want to do. Is one of our Gadget Spot projects is build one.
We could
Do
get
you wanna do
together
that
on
next
a.
month?
I found.
together
Well,
on a
I'll put it, we'll
Saturday.
put a link in the show notes. I actually found a walkthrough for how to build one using a Raspberry
Can
Pi
all
3.
4 of us buy one?
The cool thing about this walkthrough is they're like you don't have to be limited. One of the things about the Classic is that you're limited to the 3-foot cable. It's hardwired into the Classic
Yeah.
controller. But with the
Well,
Raspberry Pi
it's
build,
not, it's not hardwired.
well, I mean, it's like
It's
you
still
have.
you can still take it out.
Oh, okay.
Is it the
It's-
Pi 3
it's-
Model B?
It's
Yep,
the same.
that's the one.
It's
Buying it
actually
right now.
It's the same connection that you find on the end of the Wii Classic controller.
Yeah, that's
so
right.
if you want to, you can use a Wii Classic controller.
Yeah, that's
with
true.
it.
You could move it away, but the cool thing about the Pi model that I was looking at to build is that you can use like an old PS3 or Xbox 360 controller to play on that and customize and
Which is wireless.
which
So
is wireless.
You don't
yeah.
have to sit 3 feet away from your TV.
And they said that they were able to get the power function to work using the button to start the device from,
Oh, that's
Oh,
cool.
which was pretty
nice.
cool. So I think this might be my new project. Since
Ordered.
did you just buy one of those?
Yeah.
Did you choose the wrong one?
Raspberry. Hold on.
Did
Hold
you buy the
on.
one from the link?
I just asked you guys. All you guys.
James, we don't take you
literally
seriously.
Looked at me.
We don't know what you're
and
doing at
said
any given
yes.
moment.
All the.
What is it? Which one?
I got the peripheral protection plan.
That's a protection plan. You should have bought the actual device.
Oh,
What
I
are
don't know
you
why I was so-
protecting?
Raspberry Pi 3 Model B motherboard.
Yeah.
Boom! Who puts his money where his mouth is? This guy.
And your foot.
Thank you,
and your hands, and your-
Patreon. You make this all possible.
Puts all those things where his mouth is.
we'll see. Well, I think that'll be a cool Gadget Spot project. For us
Yes,
to do.
yeah.
Put
That'd be
this
cool.
bean where your mouth is.
Oh, this is a tasty one.
That's the
Tutti Frutti.
Tutti Frutti. Yeah. Doesn't go good in energy drinks though.
So I kind of want to talk about that actually.
The Nintendo Classic?
Yeah, because it's sold out within minutes. So
Seconds
I
on
read an article about this. This could be attributed to a Polygon article I read. So there's two situations here. Either Nintendo is dumb and they have no idea how many people want to buy their crap,
Yeah.
or they're doing it on purpose.
An artificial scarcity.
Well, yeah, to do the supply and demand.
Yeah.
Like this is making so much hype. Here we are talking about it. The news is talking about it all over the place. How fast it's sold out.
And
So-
that's like totally consumer unfriendly.
Oh, yeah.
if they're doing it on purpose, which
Anybody
they
that-
most likely are.
Yeah, and anybody that has an emulator has been able to play those games on ROMs for years and years.
Yeah.
So it's just the throwback classic. I want to have this little mini consoles for. So it's not like it's anything new.
It's pretty ridiculous that they're still doing this after all these years, like they did with the Wii.
The specs are pretty cool though. They did introduce the suspend action feature,
so you can pause.
Do you remember all those horrible games that you had to play through Final Fantasy and you couldn't save? Like you got your save slots, but you couldn't finish like some of the final boss of Final Fantasy.
So
some of that stuff.
Let me tell you the story. The Sega Master System, Wonder Boy 2, Wonder Boy in Monsterland. You have to play it for like 6 hours to get to the last guy, and it is freaking hard. One day I did it. I got to the very last guy.
Wait. Are we about to get the genesis of the Jarron rage? Is this where it all started?
Here's where it started.
So you finally get to the last guy. The very last level, mind you, is a maze. You have to go to a specific door, a specific hallway to get to the last guy. You have to do it in a very specific combination. And back then, there was no internet. I didn't know what to do, so I had to do this based on trial and error over and over and over again.
Oh, kids, you don't even know.
It probably took 4 years of my kid life. Literally. I get to the last guy. I spend 10 seconds with him. I die instantly.
Start over.
I threw down the controller. Never play that game again.
This was the beginning of Jarron rage.
There is no save feature. You know? It was ridiculous.
That's what I started. That's how I figured out I didn't like playing Diablo 2 as well. People would always play it on what's the highest mode? The Insanity or what's the...
What are we talking about? I was reading something about the Pi.
Diablo 2.
Anyway,
was the highest?
What's the highest one? Insanity or Insane or
difficulty level?
I don't know.
Anyway,
I never played
you die once you're dead.
Well,
you're gone. You're toast.
Wonder Boy.
I spent a lot of time doing
Wonder
that.
Boy 3, which they're doing a remake of, because it was such a great game. That game actually started with the very last guy. So I think it recognized the frustration of every single person who ever played that game. Like, oh, here's your chance to beat the last guy.
This is when Sega lost. This is what we're like, nobody will play our games anymore after that one game.
Wonder Boy 3, though, that was a legendary game. That game was amazing.
So did you beat the guy at the beginning who's from the end of the last game?
Yeah, totally. And they simplified it like a billion times.
Oh, they made it easy.
I finally saw a YouTube video of beating the last guy in Wonder Boy 2. Oh man, that thing was ridiculously hard.
Did you guys hear that Nintendo for the first 24 hours, or maybe I think it was the first 24 hours of the classic going on sale, they started up the Nintendo hint line?
Oh yeah!
Oh no way! Really? I called that thing all the time.
You could call it and get hints on what to do in the game.
Oh man, Secret of Mana. We use that all the time in that game.
Wasn't it like $2 a minute?
Yeah, it was really expensive.
$2 a minute.
Oh my gosh!
My mom didn't. We didn't know. They advertised in the back of a game, like one of those gamer walkthrough magazines, and we were like,
Did you get a whipping?
I had never heard anything from it, so we just drove my mom into debt. So I hope she's recovered. I don't know.
She's still paying off.
Yeah. There's many things we did as children that were...
I feel like there's like a darker story there, like she's trying to hide something on the phone bill, and her kids keep doing stuff.
I can't whip them because then if they look at the phone bill...
She'll see all the calls to Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
She'll see all the 1-900 numbers.
Yeah, it's one of those Puerto Rico phone scams. She's covering up a Ponzi scheme or something.
Oh, hotlines, man, those were the days.
Did they really? What happened if you called? Did anybody say what?
I didn't call.
Oh, they needed a call. Did they actually charge money for the line again?
I didn't look deep enough into it. I just read the little article.
I'm gonna have to look that up.
Give me that fuzzy feeling.
Yeah.
Like, oh, old school.
I'm gonna have to look that up and try that out.
Yep.
See what people said.
Okay.
You can do a lot of things with these Raspberry Pis. Did you guys know about this?
You can do a lot
Yes,
with
they've been around for years, man.
Right? So the one that I'm looking up that I really kind of want to try now before we turn it into an emulator is you can take a mirror and make it a smart mirror.
Yep. That's awesome.
I absolutely am doing that. That is
Has
my...
the weather.
Better order
everything.
another one then.
All right.
I want to use them. I'm going to use them for my smoker. I finished my smoker this week.
For a temperature gauge.
Yeah, for my temperature
wireless
sensor,
temperature
so
gauge.
I
Cool.
want my
So does Raspberry Pi sell separate things that you plug into it to receive Wi-Fi, or how does that stuff work?
So if you get the Raspberry Pi, it comes as a kit doesn't it come as the motherboard only, and but it should have the HDMI and the wireless adapter.
It's all soldered on.
Yeah,
there
it's
to
soldered
begin
on.
with.
So
cool.
You just have to get the case you want with it, right?
Pick out a case. I don't know if the current high-end model, when I say high-end, it costs like $35.
Yeah.
I don't know if it has built-in Wi-Fi or not, but you can get like a USB Wi-Fi dongle. And just plug it
I'll
in.
let you guys know. Once
some other
I
things
know.
they have. I mean, Raspberry Pi. There's a thing called the NUC out there, NUC. It's a little bit, or maybe it's NUK, but it's a little bit more powerful device and works kind of the same thing.
That's what I'm wondering is like, why hasn't anybody like if a mirror is like what $10 or something like that, and then the Raspberry Pi is $35, and then just work? Why don't you sell you could sell
The smart
mirrors for
Yeah.
like $100.
I bet you could. I bet you should look
Get
that
on
up.
that.
I bet that's there.
Maybe I will. All right, listener, take
Okay.
it, run.
One-
You're welcome.
One more thing, because I remember this from my young Tony days. Owen, tell us about Earthlink.
But yeah. If I say Earthlink, you say
Internet.
yeah,
Yep.
yeah, okay. But most of the people, well, not most, the people listen to this podcast. I asked some 20-something people around the office that I work at.
Isn't that the game that Ness is from?
Earthlink, they're like, I don't really like environmental stuff.
I recycle. Okay, get out
Yeah,
of my face.
You are
exactly.
so wrong.
So
I CrossFit. It's okay.
So Earthlink is being bought. They're still around. Earthlink is still a thing. You can still buy their dial-up plan.
I'm pretty sure you can still buy AOL's dial-up,
I
too.
can't believe
But
that's
why?
a thing. Why? Maybe if you're up in the like.
There's some rural areas
Yeah.
that don't have broadband still.
Yeah. So Earthlink is merging with Windstream, another no-name internet person, right?
Windstream?
Windstream.
Yeah.
Do they
Where's
do,
Earthfire?
Do they do wireless?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Windstream is actually inheriting like $463 million of Earthlink's debt as well.
Oh.
Yeah. So anyway, I saw this store in Earthlink and I was like, those guys, because Earthlink, I have a history of not wanting to pay for things.
You?
Yeah.
No.
Get out.
And so I got the Earthlink dialer, and you can pay for their plan. But I found this network in California called
Tuskegee,
SoCal
Oklahoma.
Ethernet. Did you ever hear that?
No.
So after 2 p.m., which was like noon their time, their servers were just not in use. So they allowed you to dial up and connect and have internet for free from their servers.
What?
And you kind of
Well,
had to.
didn't you have to pay long distance, though?
No. Oh yeah, I did have to pay long distance, but
Okay.
at the time I had my wife at the time had family in out of state, so we paid for unlimited long distance on our
Oh,
telephone plan.
Nice.
So it was like a no cost to us, but yeah, Earthlink is still a thing. Weird
That's
though, right?
crazy.
Everybody out there, go to the younger generation, ask them if they know what Earthlink is.
They'll have no idea. Anyone, I'd
AOL,
say,
some people might still because they've done a little bit. They've kept up on marketing a little bit,
Yeah.
but Earthlink,
I don't
doubt
think
it.
anyone under the age of probably 20
Yeah,
would have any idea what
I had
Earthlink is.
I asked some 21-year-olds and a couple 22-year-olds. I asked, and they were like, I have no idea.
I'm pretty sure Net Zero is still a thing, too.
Really?
Net Zero is still a thing.
Yep.
Yeah.
We had net zero.
Yeah, so did we.
Yeah,
Net Zero.
that replaced Earthlink for me actually.
Net Zero had the worst internet blocker thing ever. Like it would block everything. Everything.
Did you put it to the test?
Yup.
Okay, I lied. There's one more thing I want to talk about real quick. Really neat. It's finally got past the development phase, and it supposedly will start manufacturing soon. A wireless kit for the HTC Vive.
Oh,
So you don't have to have wires trailing from your headset.
Really want to know what the
Latency
is.
That's
on
what
that.
everyone wants to know. So it is an actual project that this company. Let me look real quick.
Isn't it like a thick?
TPcast is the company that's making it, and they are working directly with HTC, so
That's cool.
they have access to all the APIs, all the hardware, and when they're done, you should have wireless HTC Vive to your computer, so that you don't have anything you can trip
Weird.
over,
Sweet.
and you
The
don't have to
Void
wear
style.
and you don't have to
Right?
wear a backpack.
oh yeah, right. What's
So-
the range and latency though? Right.
Well, that's what we're waiting to find out, but I saw that and I was like, that is neat.
I'm still so pissed I didn't go to the Void with you guys.
Yeah, you should be. That was the best moment of my life.
It
I relive
was-
it every day, and I'm
Yeah.
so happy.
It was probably the greatest thing I've done in the last 5 years.
yeah.
So the top three things
Besides getting married.
that
The
the top three
If you
moments
could've
of
got
my
married.
life, in no particular order: getting married, getting a son, and the Void.
What about your daughter?
I don't have a daughter, so
that
yeah.
you know
I'm
of.
just kidding. There is that the half of the third person that you dated. Never mind.
Oh yeah, right. You could do that.
So I want to do a quick shout out to Vizio. Their support is awesome. Their CTO Matt McRae, he posts in the AVS forums all the time, and you can actually talk to him directly about your TVs and stuff.
McRae?
Yeah,
Does he ever post anything like It's high noon.
Anyway, so
Shrugging it off.
they're working on like an HDR update so you can play it with the Xbox One S.
Yay.
And it's not done yet, but to all the people in the forums, he enabled the firmware for them specifically,
Yay.
so we could enjoy it during the holidays. Anyway,
Wait, so did you get it?
I did.
Oh,
Really?
Yeah, just right now.
That's pretty rad, actually.
Oh,
It is. So,
Like-
how often will a CTO of a company actually talk to
Never.
normal?
That's really neat.
Yeah, it is cool.
I
So-
really like Vizio TVs. They're
as
not
well.
super expensive, and like they're kind of awesome.
They kind of stayed under the radar.
Their quality has gone up immensely in
Yeah.
the last 5
Yeah.
to 7 years.
Well, the funny thing is I still have my 55-inch from 2008, and I'm just fine with it.
That's not funny.
That's serious. That's serious.
So I'm really excited to play with my Xbox One S after this.
Yeah, you.
Yep.
Sweet.
You guys need to get online and play Battlefield 1 with me. So help
I
me.
want it.
I already told
I'm
you.
taking all of next week off, and I will be playing that
I'll
game.
take a day off next week with
Yeah,
you.
Okay.
I told
Play
you
at
I
home.
can't do it. I got to get it for PC because I want the graphics.
But
I
you
need to
can't play
friend-
with anyone else.
Then you're gonna
I-
play it by yourself,
I
just
need to
like you
do
do with
the,
everything else on the computer.
Right. I only want to play the campaign.
I need
Actually,
to do the
I want
swap.
I want to get it for PS4 Pro though, because the graphics are much better. So
I need to do
wouldn't be
the-
able to play with you.
I need to do the Xbox swap, where like you make it the home person and then you get the free games. You can-
yeah.
Oh yeah.
I need to do that.
I do that
I'll
with
swap
somebody.
with you.
What?
So-
Oh, sorry,
you can't.
Jarron.
Yeah, you guys are already. swapped.
Oh yeah,
so-
we have.
That's why I went like this. I need to do the Xbox swap.
I already do it with somebody. Sorry.
You
Jared. Hey,
pimp.
But to be fair though, like as of lately, I've been buying a lot of new games, and I would not mind splitting that price with somebody because right now I split it with my
Well,
brother-in-law who does not have time to.
Splitting.
remember what
I
Owen
don't
said
know about
about
that.
a history of not liking to pay for things?
Can you get them for free?
No, That
No,
was
he
from
would
you.
get them for free from you for free, not help you pay for the digital downloads.
Why would I agree to that?
I'm not sure. I just threw it out there. It's worked in the past many times.
Well, he has given you his Plex server.
That's true.
Actually, I am buying your dinner tonight. You remember that, right?
Oh, I was gonna buy
Are
it.
you gonna buy
no,
some
I
motherfucker?
get him tonight.
I
and
wanna
you get him
buy it.
next time.
Who's buying my dinner?
I don't know what's happening.
Screw you, Tony.
Oh, dang it.
Tony, you've made fun of me, but in like accurate ways lately. You get nothing.
The kind of ways that sting.
Hurtful.
The kind of ways that like I think about it right before I go to sleep at night.
Screw you, inverse strawberry.
The one you're like, I hope Tony sends a sorry through the chat.
Is that a white patch
the
on the
Google
back of your
chat.
head, or are you just going bald? Whoa!
That's the ones where you hope Tony like can't sleep and says sorry in the Google chat like right before he
But
goes to
I
bed.
don't.
But he never does.
What does your wife think of your chest being so hairless, James?
Hey, hairless is the way to go, man.
I got
Except for the top of your head.
I don't
got-
think so.
I
We
got-
got the hairless side and the hairy side
Yep.
of this
really
table.
quick before we shut this down. Do you guys count eyebrows as facial hair?
Yes.
So if you say my wife has facial hair, you would say yes.
No.
No.
Eyebrows do not count as facial hair.
But
That's
the
all
hair-
I've got.
The hair on your face.
No, I mean I do have to groom mine constantly. Otherwise, I turn into Grover.
My wife-
See, facial hair.
My
Anything
wife-
you have to groom is facial hair.
So you would count eyebrows as facial hair.
for a guy.
My wife
I have a double
trims-
standard.
Why?
She trims my eyebrows
Yep.
when I get my hair cut by her.
I don't even have to trim them.
They get caterpillary.
Your wife makes fun of my eyebrows.
Well,
Is it because they're weird?
Wait, do
You
you,
know.
have eyebrows?
that's
You
kind of
can't-
what she's saying.
You got to have
They're
him
like-
tilt his
they-
head, and then
They
they
stop
show.
halfway in. You have half an eyebrow.
I know I have hip brows, Hitler brows. It's in the middle, and it doesn't. It's they're segregated.
You know, you
eyebrow.
can get a tattoo for that. Permanent makeup, they call it.
Yeah, that's blading, I think.
Yeah.
Hitler brows, inverse strawberry, Owen.
Yeah.
Owen.
I'm generic.
And
generic.
and we got Rigby over here.
And Rigby.
If I have nothing to make fun of, then I'm usually having a good day.
Hey, if you were an ice cream, you'd be a vanilla. Hey,
Safe.
I like vanilla. It's
I know,
one of
so
my
do I.
favorites.
I
Pour
usually
chocolate all over it.
I
Yeah.
put sauce all over it. It's great.
So that it doesn't taste like vanilla.
Look, you got to start out with a good base.
But if it helps, you're the Kirkland brand.
Hey, yeah.
Owen's the vanilla ice cream of our podcast.
It is.
I
You
fit
need
it.
him,
I-
and we're like the tasty part of it.
I
You're the
fit
silly
everywhere.
buddy, obviously.
Silly.
Yeah,
putty?
you're the kind that you take out on Sunday mornings. You stick it to the Sunday funnies, and then you peel it off, and you're like, and then you roll.
Oh, I
it.
thought we were talking
doing
about ice cream.
Ice cream
still.
Sunday.
Oh, then you're the nuts.
Well, almonds.
Sure,
Yeah.
because you make great milk.
You know
I
what?
got nothing.
I don't
let's,
really have anywhere to go from there.
You're the gluten-free
Let's
topping, and obviously I'm the turtle shell because I have to be hard.
the magic shell,
Shut
not
it down.
turtle shell.
Shut it down.
It's magic.
James has got to be
shell.
hard.
Shut it down.
All right, Owen. Let's take us out of here.
Vanilla says we hope you care.